Hello participants, I am starting a new lecture on sprinkler irrigation system. This is one of the important lecture under pressurized irrigation category. We in the previous lectures we discussed about micro irrigation emission devices. Those emission devices, they operate at low pressure, whereas sprinkler irrigation system, it requires relatively large pressure, and this is used for crops which is of higher height, maybe sugarcane, maybe some crop plantations which is of very greater height. Water can be applied by using such system. Now, in this particular sprinkler irrigation system, we will discuss about its importance, its limitations. We will discuss about what are the different types of sprinkler irrigation system and its components. So, when we talk of what is a sprinkler irrigation, it belongs to the family of pressurized irrigation, where water is being applied by using pressure and then water discharged through the nozzle in the form of a jet, which breaks down into the droplets, is shot into the air and falls on the ground or the plant foliage. It follows a circular pattern around the sprinkler head. Sprinklers have hammer device. If you look at this one, here there is a hammering device, it is there, and then it is a slow rotating or revolving mechanism. It has there is a hammer wedge or spring. This is the spring loaded arm, where there is a rocker weight which try to balance the pressure which is coming due to water. And so, at the nozzle, the water which is coming with the pressure, it is that pressure head is converted to the velocity head, and then it is such type of sprinkler systems. These are used for high density plantation, and this has another added advantage that it creates a microclimate near the vicinity of the plant. These are the set of the advantages. It has water saving, it increases the yield, there are system can be taken from one place to other place. It may be used for undulating land, it saves land, as no burns, ridges, furrows, etc. These are required. So, whole area it can be brought under cultivation. It influences the microclimate, because the water which comes, it comes like a rainfall. So, those water droplets, it forms a water vapor. So, mainly during summer month, it creates a cooler environment, and particularly during a frost period, sprinkler protect crops against the frost. It suits to the all type of topography except for the fine textured soil, suits to almost all types of crops, ideal for germination of seeds and establishing seedlings. There are some limitations that it is when it is being used and in a ripened fruits. So, the impact of the water jet, it may spoil the fruit. It can be used not suitable for the large trees, because the water which is coming, these trees they interfere the operations. So, the jet get interrupted, and then power requirement is relatively high, and mainly particularly for the giant nozzle type of sprinklers, not suitable for heavy clay soil which has got low infiltration rate. One has to adjust the application rate, so that the such type of soil, the plants or crop grown in such type of soil which are got the high the very heavy clay or fine texture, that can be used. Evaporation and wind drifts are very high when it is applied at a very low rate. High initial investment is involved, and water must be free from all the debris, sand, all the dissolved salts, because it may hamper the working. Now, there are different types of sprinkler irrigation system. One is classification is made on the basis of spray pattern. It could be on the basis of the rotating head kind of a thing. The classifications, the other classification has been made based on the portability, based on the movement. So, these could be portable, semi portable, semi permanent, permanent, set move, solid set, or continuous move. And these can be further the how the movement can be made, whether it can be done by manually or it can be done by using the mechanically driven system, or it can be continuous moving system. So, central pivot system, it can be means this such type of system means your linear move, traveler move, or central pivot, that is a circular kind of a thing, the movement is done. You can see here the perforated pipes, the water is emitting out of the perforated pipes. So, it means the perforated pipe system is one of the system. It requires low pressure, and then the normally such systems perforated pipes where the holes are made, it operates. So, it operates at the low pressure, and then application rate for such type of pipe system, it is between 1.25 to 5 centimeter per hour. There are it has got some certain limitations, that it require low pressure, and then it is working at a low pressure. When the pressure is high, this particular type of system may not work, release more water per unit area. This is one disadvantage of the system, and then it is unsuitable for soils which is of very low infiltration capacity. A rotating head system, you can see here, this is a device which has got a single nozzle, and then when water it comes, so there is a this is the sprinkler head. So, in this type of system, small spraying size nozzles are placed on the riser pipe. So, this particular unit is connected with the riser pipe, and then the common device to rotate sprinkler nozzle is a hammer. So, here when it strikes, the jet emerging out of this. So, there is this particular swing arm, it jet will hit on this arm. So, what will happen? It will deflect, and then again because of the weight here. So, it will bring it back. So, there is a activated. So, there is a small hammer activated by thrust of water striking against the vane connected to it. They are equipped with two nozzles. Of course, this particular device here right now you have seen, it is a single nozzle. There could be two nozzle, one is the range nozzle, another one is the spreader nozzle, and then the sprinkler head mounted on the riser which are above the crop height and rotated through 90 to 360 degree to irrigate a rectangular strip. The pressure requirement, it is a 2 to 4 kg per square centimeter, and it has got different application rate, and these application rates are decided on the basis of particular type of soil. Then also the slope of the land. Now, coming to the classification point of view, based on the portability point of view, the system can be portable, as name it is given portable. So, all the components, means a distribution component, the main line, sub main line, laterals, and then entire all the pumping unit, this is a portable. And then semi portable, in the case of semi portable, the source of water and pumping plant is fixed, and rest of the components are movable. So, you can see here this is a main pipeline, and from the main, means there is a stationary power source, source of water, where the pump is fixed, and then these laterals are moving from one place to other place. So, all the entire unit is portable. Permanent, as the name says that this is a permanent system, means a main line, sub main line, lateral, and with the stationary pumping plant and what. So, all the components of this such type of systems are permanently installed. And then it is installed mainly for such crops which are perennial in nature, or for the entire season this is made. Semi permanent, it has a portable lateral line, permanent main line, sub mains, and stationary water source with pumping unit. Set move system or portable irrigation system. Set move system, as the name says, the movable from one set of irrigations. Once the one particular irrigation it is done, then it is placed taken to the another place, another set place it will go. It can be done by manually or by using mechanical way, or by using tractor. So, this could be set move, remain stationary when water is, when this particularly when the irrigation is being given. So, for a given time of irrigation it will remain constant over there. Then it can be moved from the one position to other position, and then there is a single main line through the center of the field, and one or more lateral on the each side of the main, these are attached. This set move system can be hand move, or it can be toe move, or it can be side roll or gun type. So, there could be different types of movement it can be made. So, the another kind of a system which you see here, this is a solid set system. So, as the name said that a solid set, this type of system has got enough laterals which can be operated at one time simultaneously, particularly when say frost control, when it occurs, or snowfall it occurs, to protect the crop due to injury due to snow, particularly in apple irrigation. So, all the plants will need irrigation at the same time, then in that case such type of irrigation system is very much required. So, this is solid set system, it is installed for the entire crop season, or it can be permanently installed. So, particularly this is beneficial to crops which need frequent irrigation in a small depth. Such systems are can be coupled with the automation. So, as and when depending on the requirement, depending on the temperature, all that thing it can be automated. Continuous move system, here what you see, this is a central pivot system, it has got laterals, and the sprinkler remain connected to the main, and it moves continuously as the water is being sprayed. So, this could be a central pivot system, traveler system, or linear move system. So, a continuous move system can be of three types. So, here what you see, this is a central pivot system. You can see here how the circular irrigation is being given. Only the problem with the central pivot system, if the field is rectangular in shape, then the corners are not irrigated. So, the central pivot system, it consists of a pipeline rotating around the pivot and supported by self propelled towers at a height of 2 to 4 meter, and then the means 25 to 20, the 75 meter is the spacing between them. The radial lines rotate slowly around the central pivot by water pressure, electric motor or oil hydraulic motors. Means there could be, these could be the different ways of movement. The towers are supported by wheels or skid. A part of is circle sprinkler end gun, it is provided at the end here, because the in order to spread the water of the at this end, means where, so that the corners can be easily irrigated. So each point covers the large circular area, land area in the order of 60 to 100 hectare field at in one stretch it can be irrigated, and such systems are fully automated for the large farming plants. In India, we have the central pivot system in National Seed Corporation and State Seed Corporation, where such farms are very large. As such, as individual holding such type of system, it needs when the area is large. Then there are the linear move system, that is this also falls under the continuous move. So it is developed against the problem associated with central pivot system. It covering the corners and to the reducing runoff. So this is the arrangement where you can see here how the linear movement, the laterals are moving from one place to other place, and the average application rate is half of that of the end of the pivot. It has means towers with electric motors alignment. The lateral moves continuously in a linear fashion, as the name said, that is a linear move. So the water is supplied to the lateral through a flexible hose hooked to the main line by travelling pumping plant, and that pumps water from an open ditch, or it could be the other source of water. This can be powered by the diesel engine or electric motor if the electric supply is available. Then traveler sprinkler system, this is the another kind. This is the source of water, there is a pumping plant, this is the main line, and you can see here the how the cable and hose is connected, and then how the systems will be operating. So high capacity gun type of sprinklers are mounted on the cart and hose that conveys the water from a buried portable main line to the sprinkler line. The cart is pulled across the field by cable and supply hose. It is adaptable to many field sizes, shapes and terrains. It can irrigate in a rectangular strip of up to 900 meter strip, wide strip. It can be transported from field to field at a very high speed, but it requires the crop tree from the towpath. These can be further hard hose, then soft hose. This could be the hose can be soft or this one. Then set move system, it can be manually, that is hand move, it can be toe move, it can be side roll, it can be gut type. So such system, these are hand move system, these are manually moved, and where coupling as well as the removal, means the detaching, it can be done manually. These are such type of systems are made up of high density polyethylene pipe, and then these are of the size of 50 to 100 millimeter in diameter, available in 6 meter, 9 meter long pipeline. Toe move system, each lateral section has skids and wheel to pull entire lateral to the next set position. You can see here, these are the wheels where the entire system is brought from one position to the next position. A tractor hooked to main end attached with the lateral to drag laterals in other direction across the main line in an opposite S-shaped curve. Easier to move when main lines are buried. No need to means this is not used extensively, as the moving lateral may damage the crop. So, basically those crops which is of low value crop or means not a very expensive, this system is used. So, mainly for the forage or the row crops it is being used. This is the another kind of a system, that is a side roll or wheel move system, and the lateral, you can see lateral is kept inside, and on the top this is connected with the wheel. So, it is a mechanically moved system. It is taken from one place to other place by mechanically, and each section of the pipe in a side roll lateral has wheel, and the pipe serving as the axle of the wheel. A diesel operated engine or transmission with the reverse gear supplies the power needed to roll the lateral of length up to 800 meter from one set of position to the next. The lateral is commonly of 12.2 meter long, having the diameter of 100 to 125 millimeter with a wheel at its center, and the sprinkler is mounted on the short riser on each end. This is what you see here, how the sprinkler is mounted on this one, and it is in action. A drain valve is located at opposite to each riser and opens automatically during the pressure loss. It allows the lateral to drain and move quickly. So, this is the arrangement here we have. Then there is a gun type of set move system. It consists of large volume gun sprinkler mounted on wheeled cart and trailer that is moved from one set to the set with the tractor or by hand. Sprinkler capacity, these are of very high capacity, about 4,700 liter per minute. It has it has got wetting diameter of about 180 meter. It requires operating pressure from 480 to 896. You can see these are the guns. They may be used for variety of climates, and then the useful for the large agricultural field, lawns, playground and turfs. It is a low maintenance, easy to install. Only thing that such type of sprinklers, it does not have the good uniformity of water distribution, but when we need to operate at one point of the field, so the loss of the crop as well as the movement is not restricted. It can be such systems are useful. Only thing that we should have the portable water supply system, means this water supply should be in a large capacity, and it should be available at in adequate quantity. This is a sprinkler irrigation with mobile rain gun, which is another kind of a thing. This has been this is another important device which is being used, where this is the direction of travel, and we can see that how this system can be rated. So, this is a mobile rain gun. Now, this is important, and some places it is being used, and it is being available marketed in India also. Now, we learnt in the previous part about the different types of micro sprinkler irrigation system. Now, let us come to the sprinkler irrigation system components. So, a typical sprinkler components, it has a it is taking water from a source. This source of water can be a well, it can be pond, it can be reservoir, it can be flowing stream, and then there is a pump. Now, this pump here what you see that it is a coupled with the electric motor. So, this can be again operated by some prime mover. So, maybe a gasoline, or it can be operated, this pump can be operated with the diesel engine, and this is the suction end of the pump, and this is the delivery end of the pump. So, suction end of the pump it is provided with a coupling, and then it comes to the check valve. So, check valve basically it is checking the flow or supplying the flow as per the desired quantity. Then further it is controlled by a gate valve, and then there is a enlarger when we want to extend the line. So, there is a coupling where we can enlarge. So, from the delivery end of the pipeline of the pump, it is the pipeline is extended, and then it is coming to the another component which is which you can see there is a telescopic union. So, this is a main pipeline, and then this main pipeline when we want to divert water to this direction. So, there is a T connection. So, this T is further connected with a lateral pipeline. This is a sprinkler lateral, and on this sprinkler lateral the riser pipeline is attached, and this riser pipeline has got a sprinkler head, and at the so like this these sprinkler heads are provided at appropriate location depending on the requirement, and then the in order to terminate the lateral flow into the lateral, there is a end plug has been provided, and then the water, when we want to apply water to the set of laterals, just now when I was telling you about the solid set system. So, there you will have such type of laterals which are permanently fixed, and then there will be set of laterals. So, this is one lateral, this is another lateral, like this there can be several laterals, and then in this lateral again this is the one connection which is a elbow. So, with the elbow, using the elbow, water can be this particular lateral can be connected, in which the another sprinkler head is mounted, and by using the coupler with the riser pipe and the sprinkler. So, this is, and then at the end of the pipeline, lateral pipeline, there is a end plug, and then water it goes in the line, and it can be made in both the sides. So, there could be both the side the water can be supplied. So, means the line can be terminated depending on the requirement, or it can be diverted in one direction, or water can be diverted in other directions, both the directions. So, this will depend upon the requirement. So, a components of a sprinkler irrigation system, it consists of a pump which gives adequate pressure. It consists of the network of the pipeline. Those pipeline can be main pipeline, sub main pipeline, depending upon the requirement. When the size is very large, it can have the means, and then there is a sprinklers, couplers, valves, risers, bends, end plugs. These are the devices which are used in a typical sprinkler system. So, as I told you, there is a pump. So, pump is the purpose of pump is to provide enough pressure in the system, and are taking water from the source, maybe groundwater from the well. So, pump create the force, means through pump, force is created through the sprinkler, and then the water goes to the perforations in the nozzles, if it is a perforated pipeline, or it is coming to the sprinkler road. A high speed centrifugal pump or turbine pump can be used depending on the requirement, depending on the place where how the water is taken. If the water is taken from the less than 8 meter suction head 8 meter, then centrifugal pump is used, or submersible pump when it is the depth of water is greater than 8 meter. So, these are some of the guidelines. In fact, the pump position can be, when I was taking class, you can see that how the position of the pump can be shifted when the deep water is there, submersible pump or centrifugal pump, that already I have explained you. So, these pump can be driven by using electric motor or internal combustion engine, IC engines. Pipe network, as I told you, that these are the main or sub-main pipeline, and the main or sub-main pipeline supplies water to the lateral. These are normally made up of PVC or HDPE. Lateral supplies water to the sprinklers. They can be laid below or above the ground level. Then on these laterals risers are mounted. These risers are of smaller diameter pipeline, and then the height of the riser pipe is normally 1 meter, less than 1 meter, 90 centimeter to 1 meter, but when there is the plant height or crop height is more, say in case of the sugarcane crop, the height of the riser pipe can be made. However, to get the support, a tripod is needed for each individual riser pipe to support this one, so that it does not fall. So, portable sprinklers, it could be aluminum, PVC. Now, aluminum pipeline is not used, it could be made up with the PVC. These pipelines are made up of PVC or HDPE. Sprinkler, it can be fixed type of sprinklers or rotating head sprinklers. Fixed head sprinklers means it is it is spray type of sprinkler. It depends on the smooth and grooved cones, deflector kind of a thing, that where when it is used, mainly it is used for increasing the humidity. This requires relatively lesser pressure, whereas rotating sprinklers, where it requires more pressure, and these could be the rotating head sprinkler could be of this could be of impact type, gear driven type, or reaction type. So, rotating is, they have one or more nozzles, means one nozzle it is a range nozzle, which is, another one is the spreader nozzle. Spreader nozzle, the water spreads near the riser pipeline, and then as well as the range nozzle, it spreads the water at the distance part. These jets are rotated in a start and stop, strike the impact, and then bounce out the one of the jet. The spring returns arm to the strike the jet again repeatedly. This is the action it does in case of the rotating head impact type of sprinkler. The constant diameter nozzles, means these are the diameters are normally it is of the same size, and it gives it is made in such a way that it delivers the constant discharge. Diffuse jet nozzles, this is mainly for creating the humidity in a particular place, mainly in the smaller these are of smaller size, but in the greenhouses such type of sprinklers are used. Impact sprinkler, this is what you see here, that it is a twin nozzle. So, this nozzle is the range nozzle, and this is a spreader nozzle, and the jet coming out of this strikes here, and then this spring it brings it back. So, when it strikes, this particular arm deflects and then supplies the water. Normally the angle of throw from this one, this is a trajectory, this is 30 to 32 degree, and this is a bearing. this on this bearing the sprinkler rotates about its axis. You can see these are the different components. This is oscillating arm shaft, and this is the oscillating arm which is oscillates when the jet it eject out of this one. So, it brings back. So, already I have explained you. So, this goes, then gear driven type of sprinklers are there, where it is driven by a small water turbine located at the base of the sprinkler. Series of gears are used to reduce the speed of turbine. It may have one or more jet that rotates around the vertical axis of the sprinkler. Unlike impact type of sprinkler, gear driven sprinkler rotate smoothly without any splash. There are reaction type of sprinkler rotated by torque produced by the reaction of water leaving the sprinkler jet. This is the thing which is making in majority of the impact type of sprinklers also. Then when the jet leaves the water, it creates torque, that is the causing the movement of water, and it operates at the low pressure, that is between 70 to 210. Now, other components of the sprinkler systems are very important component, and these are as important as the sprinkler system, because these are needed. So, couplers for coupling the pipeline, water meter to monitor the flow, flanges and couplings, they are required for proper connection to the pump and suction and delivery end. Pressure gauge, it is another important component to monitor the pressure, how at what pressure the pump is operating, at what pressure water is being flowing in the main pipeline, sub main pipeline, and also to monitor the flow from the how much at what pressure sprinkler is ejecting the discharge. Bends, tees, reducer, elbows, hydrant, butterfly valve and plugs, these are all important components. So, you can see here this is the quick release coupling QRC, which is made up of high density polyethylene. So, these are the QRC, this is the end plug, all this is made up of HDP or PVC. Of course, this is the end plug, and then there is a rubber gasket at the end. So, water does not come out of this. This is a T when we want to divert water in the at the 90-degree, or it is a bend. So, such type of devices are required when we want to connect the pipeline with one. This is the threaded pipeline, of course, steel pipeline pipe, sometime it is needed. Of course, now slowly all these couplings which were made up of GI pipeline or steel pipeline, this had been replaced with the PVC. Only thing that is this where the riser pipe is to be. So, this is made up of a brass or gunmetal at this place, and then on this place you can see here, this is the one part, and then sprinkler riser pipe is attached to this one. This is the quick coupling aluminum pipeline. Yes, these were being used earlier. Now, aluminum pipeline has been fully replaced with the PVC or HDP. This is the rigid PVC. So, this particular topic you can go in detail, refer these books by James, by Professor Michael. Quite a good information is available. You can also have the internet references. So, in this particular lecture, we discussed about the different types of sprinkler system, which is based on the portability or moving system. We discussed about the components and what are the different components which are there. In the forthcoming lecture, we will discuss about the what are the design considerations, and then what is the system hydraulics. So, thank you very much for patience hearing.